Hey. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Mujeres de Maiz Music Sundays. My name is Lily Flor, and I'll be your host for tonight. And before we start and we introduce our guest, I'm going to actually ask our guest to help us with the land acknowledgement first before we start. All right, Jessa.
I wish coneja Lily Flor. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this land acknowledgement that my mother wrote, and it's a little long, but bear with me. I honor my tribal relatives, past and present. They're traditional caretakers of Tongva, from San Fernando Valley to Huntington Beach, east along the Santa Ana River to Corona, and Riverside back along the foothills, as well as the 4 southern Channel Islands, Catalina, Santa Barbara, San Nicolas, and San Clemente. Across our large, unceded territory, we continue our efforts to protect our lands, our waters, and our plant and animal relatives. Yararka Mokre, Henuk Fetam, we remember the ancestors. Karukenakre, Eyoterechem, we stand with our children, both present and the 7 generations to come. Let us remember to walk gently upon our Mother Earth and give her the love and respect that she deserves. Awesh Koneha, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that lovely prayer for your mother. And what was your mom's name? I forgot her name. Oh my God.
My mom is Tina
Huh?
Calderon. Tina Calderon.
Tina, yes, that's right. My apologies. Yes, Tina was just on with us for Sanacion Sundays. So if you want to know about Jessa's mom, Tina Calderon, she also pre-recorded on our show from this past Sunday. You could rewatch that. She has amazing knowledge to share. So thank you so much. So what I want to do is make sure that I acknowledge why we're here and who we are, right? Part of a collective called Mujeres de Maiz. And today is Music Mondays, and where we're featuring women's voices for the whole month. Her story, they only give us a month, but we know we're 24/7, 364 days, 365 days of the year. And yeah, that's right. And today we're here with Jessa Calderon, our special guest. And we're also asking everyone that's out there to come and click on our page on Mujeres de Maiz, follow us, get on our notification emails to find out about our programming. Every year, Mujeres de Maiz, for 24 years, we have been providing free programming to the community throughout Los Angeles and beyond for women and young women voices to be heard, to create sacred space, to have a platform for women to voice who they are and express themselves. So our GoFundMe campaign to fundraise for UnEarthed, a documentary sharing 25 years of her story of Mujeres de Maiz, a story about the past, present, and future, as told by Indigenous identified urban women of color that dare to follow their desire to create, unite, resist, heal, and inspire social change. Sign up on our website to get the links first and get our first updates and notifications and news. And any donation that you give, $5, $1, $20, whatever you have, will help with our campaign. And if you know someone over there with a little bit of feria, let them know that women need your help as well. And women helping women is even better, right? So anything, nothing's too small to donate. Of course, our programming here is free to anyone that joins. So with that, without any, and plus you'll get to see our notifications on our chat room and also in our banner. Okay, and so I'm going to formally introduce Jessa Calderon. So let me tell you about our guest. Can we go on for her? Okay, let's put her on. Yes. Okay, Ms. Jessa Calderon is the coordinator of Indigenous Oceans and Water Protector Programs to Sacred Places Institute. Jessa is a Tongva and Chumash songwriter, poet, hip hop artist, performer, hypnotherapist, massage therapist, energy worker, and offers guided meditations. Jessa encourages our community and youth to find their healing mentally, physically, and spiritually through her words, music, and practices. Jessa has had the privilege to work with community and youth from many nations, helping them find themselves while helping them to feel good about themselves. Please give a warm welcome to Miss Jessa Calderon. Say hello to everyone, Jessa.
Lily. Hey, everybody. Me'iha Wenehinkam, Netwanya Ne, Jessa Calderon. And I am really, really happy to be here, appreciating and loving everybody with Mujeres de Maiz. Thank you.
Okay. So, Jessa, before we move on, of course, we're going to move on together. And just so everyone knows out there, we're going to introduce Jessa, the all-around mujer, chingona, diosa, goddess, we're going to introduce her not only about her music, but the other work that she does, as we mentioned previously in her short bio of who she is. And we're just going to dig deep, make it go organic, have fun, and be ourselves. And if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. Let us know where you're channeling in from. Let us know where you're from, what lands you're on right now, and say hello to us. And if you have questions, of course, you can ask. Okay, so first question for you is, what was your first interaction with Mujeres de Maiz, or performance if you did? Because we have so many performances I forget, or people that have participated in our actual workshops or have been to our events. So my question is, have you been to our events, and how did you hear of us, and how was your interaction with us?
To be honest, I can't recall when was the first time that I performed with Mujeres de Maiz. I know they've been showing me love for years. And I first learned about Mujeres de Maiz from community work that you all do. So it was an event that was happening years ago, and it was beautiful to see. And then I have been doing. I guess I've done a couple of different events with Mujeres de Maiz over the years.
Okay. All right. Good. Yes. I know that you have, but there's been so many that, it's 24 years, and we do month-long programming.
Right.
So, yeah. So another question is, who are the women musicians, writers, or poets? Because I know you started doing poetry at first. I did my research, Jessa. So I know you started doing poetry first. Then you wrote your first thing, and they're like, oh my gosh, she got some skills, she got some flow. And, I think maybe you should do some hip hop, some rapping. So we know you started in that, right? And for those that don't, she started as a poet and then moved on to music. But I want to know, and probably others out there, is like, who were the women who inspired you to write and to move forward in your musical career?
The first two women I just want to shout out is Lefty Lopez from TLC.
Okay.
I admired her so much. Like, I was like, one day I'm going to work with her. And of course, Selena Quintanilla Perez.
Selena.
She just,
that's right.
Right. She had a presence about her, the aura about her. And with both of these women, you look at them and you just know, like, they just have something, that, and it's just this beautiful connection that they share with the world. So they're definitely the two that are on my top list. But of course, I gotta say, shout out to my sister Tanea, who's a poet, Tanea Winder, and Lila June, who I'm also in Dream Warriors with. Both of them are incredible women. Like, I can't even reach their level just at this point. Looking up to them, I'm like, God, they're so up there. But they're dope women, and I'm very grateful for them to be a part of my career.
Thank you. Yes, it's always good to honor those that have come before us and specifically right now in honoring women, because I know that in the hip hop world, and for those that don't know, of course, Jessa is a hip hop artist, known as a hip hop artist and musician as well, lyricist. We know that that game is dominated by men. And let's be honest, it is. I know. I've been around it. I come from the hip hop movement myself, and is starting off in the streets into like doing my art, right? And it's dominated by men, hip hop, right? How do you feel in that arena? And is there a story you want to share that you overcame as you were pushing through the game and wanting to be on stage, getting it in? You know what I mean? Share.
Honestly, I have never really been too intimidated growing up around any man in the rap game. But it's funny, I guess. I didn't want to be in the music anymore. I was done with it when my brother passed away in 2009. I was already at the end of it because I was in an abusive relationship where I used to be like this gangster rapper, so I was surrounded with men rappers, right? And I had a lot of respect from these men. But in this abusive relationship, it was all the trauma you could think of and the jealousy and all of this stuff. So I had already, I bowed out for that reason of just trying to keep the peace in my life. To which my homies were very supportive and like, hey, whenever you want to come back, we got your back. We're here for you. But then not very long after, like months later, my brother passed away, and he was my number one competition, I guess you could say. Like me and him just always were, I got to be better than him because he always says he's better than me. And like, he's the only one that I feel I have competition with, right? Because he was great. My brother was a great lyricist. Custom rhymes, we called him. And so I was done. Forget it. I'm just gonna live my life and be a massage therapist and be quiet and do my thing and live in this world. And then my son was born in 2010, so 2 years after that, 2011, 12, about late 2012, early 2013, he tells me that I got to go to the studio. And I'm looking at this little 2.5-year-old and I'm like, no, that's not a thing anymore. Like, mommy doesn't do that anymore. And he was very insistent. Mom, you have to go to the studio. And I was just like, you know what? As insistent as you are, let's go to the studio to check it out. So we go to the studio, and I made the mistake of posting it on Facebook that we were there. And it just kind of unraveled, and it went beyond me. There was some Native brothers who took that information and instantly was like, we're going to put you in this magazine, and we're going to put you up and this and that. And so they're interviewing me and asking me when my album's coming out, and I'm like, what's happening right now? Like, what? And so my first album is Vision of Loveliness. And although I'm a great writer, I admire my own writing in that album, I will admit that I wasn't feeling it then and there because my fire had died out already. I wasn't there. But it would be my next single, Home of the Brave, that it's just the way that it played out, where I wrote that song for a man, for a male artist, and he disappeared. He just vanished in thin air once the song was done. And I just sat there with this song going, but I like this song and I want it to come out. So I called a young man that I knew, asked him if he had a beat. I went to his house, and the way that me and this young man vibed together, I felt my fire just come back to life. And I was like, this is it. I want to be an artist now. So it kind of unraveled in that way where I didn't want anything to do with it. And then by the time Home of the Brave came, found myself like, no, you know what? I'm good with it. Okay, I'll accept this. I'm an artist.
All right. Well, I'm going to interject right now, but like that's a really good timeline that you kind of put through of how kind of you started and how you told me how the most important person in your life at that time, or not even so much your competition, but the one that influenced you, your brother. You rest in peace. That he was able to push you through. Now we're gonna get to the nitty gritty though. You're not gonna surpass the timeline though. We're gonna go back to you said you started with some gangster rap, and I heard it. I heard some of your youngster, right? Youngster is one of them, and I seen you with your fedora, and I seen you. I seen your evolution of that time and how you actually when you did the first one was Visions of Loveliness, and you did the Bird Singers, right? And you did Cali Style, right? So that really shows me of really pretty much, and I could see it, the influence of gang culture, right? And not only gang culture, but also evolving into Chicano culture, into the lowrider culture. So I seen your evolution. I seen it. I did my research, Jessa. So I was like, okay, girls, okay. She's doing a little gangster rap, and then you going on to more of the where you said where you had your son. Then you came out with this album, right? In 2015, you dropped it on CD Baby. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then did you self produce it?
So for Visions of Loveliness, I did not. For the Goddess Gang, I did, and then all the other ones, I had help while I was
Collaboration.
with
And did you write your own lyrics for most of them?
always.
Always good. So then we have that, right? So then you see the evolution of who you were, right? Because we all have those pasts. I did too. Trust me. I didn't just happen to have my studio and be part of Mujeres de Maiz because it happened. We all have those, we're growing up. You grew up in Silmar and probably not, I don't know what area of
In
Silmar.
Pacas, in Pacoima. I grew
Where?
up in Pacoima.
Pacoima, my bad. She grew up in Pacoima, and I'm sure, from what I could see, and I'm not gonna not put an assumption from what I can see, is that was part of your influence in growing up, and in your songs, you say that when you had Heaven Sent, like you ain't gonna be doing the things you were doing before because you got this gift, and that was your turning point in your life, right? Yes, no,
Yep.
yeah. And so then you moved forward, you dropping, um, sorry, my bad, I just went blank on Loveliness, Visions of Loveliness. And then you dropped, and this is where we're going to go to segue into one of your videos from that particular album, which I really like because not only it wasn't so much political, but I really like that you touched on because you did 13 songs, and on those you went from different types of emotions, from like with your breakup or feeling that you love someone or how much you're going to give them, or even your son, right? So it went in different ways, more of an emotional thing. And what you just said about how you were feeling it, how you were just coming into it, even though you were young and tender. I feel definitely were on the right track to get to where you're at now. So we're going to play one of them that I really like, and it's called "Walk Away" from the album, and we're going to do a share. So everyone, give us a second. So we're going to share one of Jessa's videos highlighting her work. Let's check it out. Okay. Bear with me a second, everybody. And remember to click on our GoFundMe and make sure to.
Oh, I see 818's in the house.
Here it is. Say what's up. Okay, so we're going to put on play. Oh, my bad. Oops.
quirky essence. It is your choice. I told you I won't force nothing. Look at my teary eyes, tell me you don't feel something. Is this in fact a one-sided situation? Thought things were going good, guess it was just my imagination. I'll sit and suffer, thinking of what could have been. Hoping you see it like you did and we could try again. How long should one wait until surely it's too late? I'm a believer, we should leave it up to fate. I've been zoned out for days, been crying through the nights, wonder if you do the same, or you're better than alright. You told me not to overthink, still that's all I do. Longing for the day that again you want me to. Not ready to accept, you're over it and done. I'm still hoping that you choose me to be the one. Let's fight for our love, I know we can. Boy, don't walk away from what we have. There's something real between us both. Instead of walk away, baby, hold me close. Say you can't give me the attention I want. Let's get this straight, I ain't the mother broad. I was very much content with our daily texts and seeing you when I could. Like almost every other week for me, that was good. You shouldn't feel guilty when hollers overdue. Every chance I get, I take the hottest too. I can see us work our way to the top. We both got that drive that nobody could stop. I wanted to build an empire with you. Honestly, I still do. Doesn't take much to keep me satisfied. We aren't perfect, we're good people deep inside. Both loners, cool like our space. Rather be home and working than all over the place. I admit, sometimes it's nice to have someone you could depend on, to be by your side for the remainder of your life. Let's fight for our love, I know we can. Boy, don't walk away from what we have. There's something real between us both. Instead of walk away, baby, hold me close.
All right. Wow. Woo, with that blue dress, girl.
Thank you.
Getting it right there. That was really nice. I really like that. I actually did like your first drop, because I think, again, like I said, I want to reemphasize on exploring your emotions, and I think that's very important to do that and just be real, right? So we're gonna jump into the next question, and we're gonna move on to the evolution of Jessa.
Well,
And-
before we do, can I just correct the timeline on that video?
Yeah.
That wasn't my first video. That was my third video.
From the same album?
That's not from the album at all. That's a single that was dropped.
Oh, wow. Because I saw it on the timeline.
Yeah. So that one was my third. It was the third song I had put out aside from the album. And shout out to Sickle Soldado that's in that video. But
I don't recognize him.
and even you had mentioned that song Youngster. Youngster's a new song actually. So I'm gonna say something I don't usually say, and that's when I was a gangster rapper, I didn't go by Jessa Calderon.
You went by Lady Scan?
No, I went by Lady Sparks.
Lady Sparks. I know it's an
So my music is out there somewhere. I don't have charge of it. I don't get paid for any of that music.
Oh, wow.
You know, young, dumb, and just living it up back then. But now, because of my son, you know, I took a whole nother direction and said, you know, looking at my child, what do I want to give him to look up to, you know? And I went sober. I took the red road, and I went back to my native ways for the simple fact that he's everything. And I want to give him a good influence to look up to.
So much for sharing that. So what I do want to do is actually go to your first album. So that's what we're going to do. And so your first album, you have this song called Bird Singers, which I really like, which is Cali style. You did 2 different versions, I believe, and through the recording. And I really, really like it. I like that you used the Bird Singers, and so whoever that person was singing in the beginning, who was that person?
Okay, so again, this is another backstory. So yes, bird singer. I wrote for a bird singer who was from the Kauai Nation. Rest in peace.
Oh.
Oh, he was so sexy. But anyways,
I just say it like stomp, stomp, go shake it around, yo.
but in my song, so it's actually my dad singing in the intro,
Oh,
and
okay.
here in this part of, you know, like the Tongva and Chumash peoples, we didn't necessarily call our music bird songs, but it's the same style. So we talk more about like the islands and our lifestyle here. So it's a little bit different, but it's the same style of music.
All right. Yes, I like it. It was really really good. I was like, whoa, wait. What's happening right here? I like it. I don't know if it's right or wrong. If someone can say something, it's all good though. We're all, we're evolving, right? So thank you for sharing that. That's really nice. Really, I'm glad that you're using your family in your recordings. It should be a family affair, especially of who you are, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna move it along, but I did want to share that video. But if you don't, please log on to Jessa Calderon on her Calderon on YouTube and click on those videos. They're really fun. I clicked on pretty much all of them. She's on Spotify. You can find her on different platforms as well, and follow her on her handle and her IG. We'll be sharing that on our chat room as well. So the next question I got for you is, okay, so now that you tell us you're coming to yourself, who you are, right, and you're going back to native ways after walking, a road of darkness, we could say, right, and coming to an awakening of self and understanding. um, I want to know, were you brought up in traditional ways, or you were brought up in traditional ways in a very in ceremony, or you just kind of it was there but you didn't really know, like, and how you actually, of course, you ended up going back because of your music and your life changes. So what did you grow up into it, or?
Yes, I've always known about my ways, my culture. My grandfather is Bob Rivera. He's my adoptive grandfather. He's Chumash, a Chumash man, who we all hold with high regards. Beautiful man with so much knowledge and culture. And I grew up in the powwow circles. So since I was, I guess I was 6 when they brought me out into my regalia, actually. And it was my grandpa Bob and my uncle, who's Lakota, who brought me into the circle. And from there, I was in the powwow circle, but always in my native ways, always doing ceremony outside of powwow, and grateful to my mom and my dad for that. But also my brother Gilbert, who taught me ceremony as well. And because of him, I always was able to ground myself every time I would kind of drift off and run off to the wrong, route, if you will, and get lost a little bit. Because of the ceremonies that he taught me of how, to sit alone. I was 8 years old when I knew what it was I was going to be doing for my career, being in the healing realms as a massage therapist and energy worker and all those things, as well as in the music world. And as it was brought to me, the word was entertainer. So because I had my connections with my native ways, that's what kept me knowing the ultimate goal. But yes, I got lost many a ways in between that. And it was when my mom and dad gave me the option, do you want to continue with the native ways? That my response was no, because it was real difficult, in a teenage mind to do the two, to walk the two worlds. It's you're I don't want to say confused, like from my point of view, but outsiders looking in were so confused, and it was just hard to, not feel angry and invisible and all these things, trying to insert my nativism in a Western world. So I just wanted to take a break from that and just be a normal, um, you know, messed up kid.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. It's very important for people to hear that as well, because sometimes we have those ways and our parents carry it, and we're so caught up in the worldly ways, and we have always those foundations to go back on. And sometimes we don't. Some people out there don't have that. And so for those people that do not have that, what would you suggest for them as a way to heal and find their own identity and their own path?
Of course, it's in my teachings with my everyday clients, is I remind you don't have to steal somebody's culture. You don't have to steal somebody's medicine or way of life. What you're really seeking lies within. No parent, no boss, no friend can give you the information that you need within, right? Like, your parent might tell you, I want you to be a doctor, but your soul knows your purpose here on this journey, on this particular journey, right? And so it takes sitting within, right? Sitting in silence, breathing, like learning how to let go of tension. And it's not something that happens overnight. It's not the first, some people call it meditation, if you will, but I call it ceremony and sitting with self. And so it might not happen the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, but it's consistency. So you continue to practice sitting in silence, breathing, and asking questions. What is it that you want to know? What is my purpose here? Then ask that question, and then breathe and let that answer flow to you. I think our number one mistake is we just want to hear ourselves talk so much that our mind is just going and going and going. But in reality, it's the idea of, for instance, when you pray, you talk, and you talk, and you ask, and you ask, and you ask. But when you sit in silence and you sit in ceremony and you sit with self, you listen. So all those questions that you had, now sitting in silence and listening is the time to get those answers. And no question is stupid. It's what question do you have? Go ahead and answer, or ask that question and let the answer come to you when sitting in silence. And in that process, that's when you begin to find yourself, understanding who you are, knowing your purpose, and letting go of the stress is understanding that, no, we can't control everything that happens around us. And no, we can't control other people. But when we sit in silence, we learn how to understand that and how to accept it, and how to accept ourselves for everything we are, for our anger, for our beauty inside and out, for, whatever it is that we have. We learn how to accept ourselves in these kinds of ceremonies. And so that, for me, to you, that's the best advice that I can give you. And if you need guidance in that, feel free to reach out to me.
Great. Thank you for that. I'm sure people will take that advice. I always say definitely you're born with it, right? Even if you have a parent or not with you, and it's very important to do that. I'm glad you're doing that healing work. You just said you have an everyday practice where you actually facilitate and help people heal through massage and energy work. Where's your practice located at?
So right now, what I'm actually doing is the hypnotherapy, and that's all over the phone. So all you need is your headphones, your cell phone, a quiet place, and that's all we need. And then when I do massage, I know the pandemic has kind of got things iffy, but when I do massage, I'm mobile. So I go to my client's place of, business or home.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. So check her out, Jessa Calderon, for some healing work. Hopefully we can have her on again for one of our future programming. So again, I'm going to go do our pitch right now. Our pitch is go to our GoFundMe page and support our 24 years of Her Story, UnEarthed documentary that we are raising funds. So please click onto our GoFundMe page or go to our website, follow us, put a like, and you'll get email notifications for future programming. So now to our next, segment, and going into more of the evolution and talking about where you're at now and from back then till now. now. So we're going to talk about how you identify, right? So how do you, when someone says, how do you identify? Who are you? What do you claim, right? Before we used to claim something else, but now, what do you claim? Who are you?
You know, that's a tough one, because I understand that, like, yeah, I am Tongva, I am Chumash, I have Yoeme bloodline, and I am this physical form that you see. I'm Jessa Calderon, but I also know that I've had many lives before this, and I don't stop here, you know, and I don't start here. So I'm an energy. I'm a ball of energy that happens to take physical form right now. So when people ask about, like, when their intention is to know who am I right here, right now in front of them, yeah, you know, I'm a hip hop artist. I'm a mom. I'm a massage therapist. I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm an energy worker, and a songwriter, and you know, I have this whole realm of things. Audio engineer that I'm picking up on. But deep inside, I have that understanding that when I leave this body, the idea of Jessa Calderon, it's going to remain here with those who are still alive and well that remember me, you know, and the energy that holds, you know, this physical body that you see now, it will no longer be Jessa Calderon, and I'm very well aware of that. But I'm grateful to be who I am here and now, to have the voice that I have, to have the mind that I have, to have the body that I have, you know, and to carry the energy that I carry. So I don't know if that answers your question the way you were hoping. Oh, I can't hear you right now.
No worries. We had
Okay.
someone answer that yesterday as well, and I think it's very good, because I also have a hard time when people ask me, how do you identify? I'm like, well, on paper I identify as Native Indigenous Chicana, but like in reality, I'm everything, nothing, and all of it. You know, I am a human, I am a spirit having a human experience, right? We've heard
Right.
that before. And I really do believe that we have past lifetimes. And, you know, some people have different beliefs, and that's okay too. But as an energy worker and a healer, I think that's very important to tap into that, because some people don't ever experience that or have that ability to do that. So thank you for sharing that. And so the next question for you is, how did you evolve? We know you evolved after that into knowledge of self. How can you lead us into your next well-known video? That's no, not the Injustice one, is the other one, Home of the Brave, that you wrote, that you talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Can you lead us into the video, and also tell us, you kind of already told us a little bit of the story, but tell me how you were a part of directing and creating the video, because I thought the video is really good. So
thank you. Yeah, definitely. It was all my ideas come to life with the videographer. But the song itself, like I said, I had wrote it for a male artist. Well, he was Mexican, right? And that's where that hook really came in, because it was the time that Donald Trump was running for office. He was horrible, the things he was saying. And I needed people to know, hey, wait a minute, you know, if your bloodline stems from across the ocean in Europe or anywhere across the ocean, you have no right telling my Native brothers and sisters that because a physical border is put in place after colonialism, so we know it as a colonial border, you have no right telling those people that they don't belong here. Because before that border was put in place, we had trading routes that allowed us to go back and forth, and we can go there and they can come here, and there was none of that, you know. So I really needed people to understand that. And then with choosing location for the video, it was very important to me that I chose areas that had significant history. And so one of the places is across the street from the church, and people know it as what is it? They call it Plaza. I forget, but I forget what it's called now. But what it was at one point was a place where Tongva people were being sold for enslavement. And so now...
Was it Plaza de Artes y Culturas?
It was Placita, Olvera Placita.
Placita Olvera. Okay, yes.
And so now it's a very known Mexican place, right? So I wanted to tie that all in. You know, people know it as a place where Mexicans go and hang out and sell their culture and beautiful things. Yes, I buy stuff there too. I support my Mexican people there too. But I wanted to tie it in that right there where I was dancing in that platform, just a few feet away from there is where our people were being sold for slaves. And I mean, the history that was there was disgusting. And also right under our feet there was where we had running waters, sacred waters that we cherished. And colonialism covered it up with bricks. So you'll notice there's still water that seeps out through there, right? And then, of course, there was different areas in Tongva territory that I tied into that. And then having all nations, we had European Americans, we had Mexican people, we had African American people, we had our Asian relatives, and they were all putting their fist up in support, you know. And so it was really important for us to tie that into to have that idea of unity. And so, yeah, so that one was just me trying to insert an understanding of support for our Mexican relatives. You know, I have my Mexican bloodline too. Like I said, I have the Yoeme as well. And I never will I knock it, never will I shame them, and never will I say that they don't belong here, because I know in my heart that that colonial border has been conditioned in our mind as well, but it doesn't make it right.
Wow, thank you so much for that. And you're definitely a bridge, and voices like that need to be heard. I know that when Trump was here for 4 years, it was like uh, a traumatic experience every day of our lives. Okay, we didn't know what to expect. And I'm really grateful for that video, and we're going to share it right now. So, this is called Home of the Brave by Jessa Calderon. Oh, sorry, my bad, my bad. Did I do something wrong? Sorry.
Yeah, we're still on
Sorry. I thought I was sharing it.
It's all good.
Okay. Hold on. I didn't click the right button. I'm new to this. You guys bear with me. Oh my god. Okay, I'll rewind it. I thought I had it all down. Okay, hold on a second. I'm already like, look, you guys are looking at me trying to figure it out. Okay. So here it is. I share screening right now. And we're gonna do Home of the Brave from Jessa Calderon. Y aquí está.
I think the sound's off right now.
Is it on now?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Sorry, technical difficulties, everybody.
Bear with us.
Can you hear it now?
Let's see. No, I heard it for a second before you put it back. There it goes.
America, land of the free. Home of the brave, the land of the free. Crooked cops on my street, steady harassing my peeps. Columbus did discover it, he was lost at sea. Therefore my folks discovered him. There were no borders when the Santa Maria came ashore. What gives immigrants the right to tell the indigenous you can't be here no more? It's hypocrisy at its finest. I pray they'll see America's ugliest colors. No, that doesn't define us indigenous people, because we too have a taste of our culture strapped and taken it to war. Religion for the that's not a promise or a threat. The way that we treat the world, that's not something we can't expect. If we keep moving this way, we're guaranteed regret. I ain't cross the border crossed me. Can't call my folks illegal if you came across the sea. I ain't cross the border crossed me. Can't call my folks illegal if you came across the sea. I ain't cross the border crossed me. Can't call my folks illegal if you came across the sea. I ain't cross the border crossed me. Can't call my folks illegal if you came across the sea. Times have changed, feels like Trump wanna make the indigenous go away. Illegal is the term being used freely. Know the bloodline of your family. Cause Europe isn't close. I'll walk across the Mexican border for your land. I'll need a point of road. The doctrine of discovery is divine. To steal, kill, and harm. I can't fathom where it came from. The word of God. Man has an urge for pumping for power. Once the land's in their hands, they begin to devour. Everything is frozen. Water flow to our minds. They manipulate it. You don't see it as a crime. Open your eyes. Nothing they do benefits you. Illness stems from their modified tools. Hail disease with the air that we breathe. When Earth's used up, we can't just leave. I ain't cross the border crossed me. Can't call my folks illegal if you came across the sea. I ain't cross the border crossed me. Can't call my folks illegal if you came across the sea. I ain't cross the border crossed me. Can't call my folks illegal if you came across the sea. I ain't cross the border crossed me. Can't call my folks illegal if you came across the sea. 2016 still breathes stupidity. As much as we advanced, we took 1,000 steps back. Is the future of our children hurting? As these gases keep burning, so many lives die at the hands of oil companies' corruption. Oil they steal, oil they spill, then turn around like it ain't nothing. He said you cannot run it. My question to you, what will you do? Will you destroy the water and land so bad there's no water or food? Will you turn to your Bible and pray, or hail the destruction and hate? Our actions determine our fate. Let us pray and respect our Mother Earth before it's too late. That's the least we can do. Help me.
Wow, that was really nice. I really like that video. It's really, really good. It's really good. I'm glad you put it out and didn't hesitate to do that. And I'm sure everyone appreciated the video back then and still now. Yes.
It's a trip. It's a trip how that video came, because like I told you, I didn't write it for myself to perform it. But when Homeboy just went MIA and fell off the face of the earth, I just felt the need to do it. But that song right there is the song that really, really got me so many gigs, so much love and recognition. And because of that song right there, I got to tour, go places I never would have thought of. And even Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas put that up in a playlist. I was having a really hard time at the time with a very well-known Mexican American man who's very famous, and I was under his label. And he was telling me things like, do you want to be a singer or do you want to be a historian? And when you're with me, you sit down and you shut up and you're not allowed to be native, and like just all this hate, And like 2 days after he asked me if I wanted to be an artist or historian, and my answer to him was, I want to be an artist who speaks my truth everywhere that I go. And 2 days later, Taboo put that song into a playlist on Spotify called Native Americans and Philanthropy. And I was like, well, there you go. I'm not a historian. I'm a philanthropist.
Wow, his the audacity. That's totally like whack, because we know that artists, well-known artists, even will.i.am puts out political work, even though he puts out different types of work, and that's what it's about. Beyonce, even I don't know if you know Jenny Rivera, like
Oh,
she had
I know Jenny.
like love songs, and then she talks about being Chicana, and then she did political work outside of that, right?
Right.
And so it's like you could be whoever you want. That's who we are as artists. We could be whoever we want, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for that, and I hope that the young women that are inspiring to be musicians, to be rap artists, or any type of artist, that they be who they are and not held back, and especially not held back by men, because we had enough. We've had enough, right?
Yeah. And I won't say that man's name, but I will say that his face appeared in that video that you just saw. So you figured it out.
Oh, we're gonna be doing the hip hop cheeseman hour. What's up?
But you know what? It's true. After having that experience with this very well-known man, and me thinking, oh, this is it, I'm gonna make it because of him. I'm gonna make it because of him. I said, you know what? Well, I won't get into it, but I had to give a life lesson to my son by leaving, right? And so when I left, that's when the doors broke open for me. And so am I like this super famous person? No. But am I doing what I love to do and getting paid for it? Absolutely. And for that, I am grateful.
Yes, that's right. Relationships in any form, whether it's with a romantic or business relationship, can be toxic, and you have to learn to walk away, even with friends. So we have to have those boundaries, right, for ourselves, and be able to know what's good for us and what's not. So thank you for that. That was a good video and great insight into what really goes on, right, in the background, especially for women in the industry. So now we're going to jump into the women in the industry and the evolution of now, right, during the times of Rona. During the times of the quarantine, I saw that you put up a video, a song called "The Goddess Gang," and now that we're going back into the whole thing of being the diosa and being the goddess gang, and people say, "Oh, you're claiming to be God." No, we're our godly selves, right? We manifest our own lives. We carve our own lives. We manifest our destiny. We're the ones to make these decisions, right? And of course, with the help of Creator and the elements of nature, we're able to move forward that energy within our own vessel, right? I feel that that's more or less like the meaning of goddess. It's multi-ended. People name it as a thing, but I know Native people, we didn't have the word goddess per se.
Exactly.
So,
or God.
Or God, right? Exactly. Or God. We say Creator, Ometeo, the male female energy, so what is your take on the word goddess?
So when I'm making this description, that what I'm asking you to do is to connect with yourself, right? Because when you connect with yourself, you connect with Creator. Why is that? Because we're all a part of this divine creation. We are all Creator. And that's where we need to understand that whole idea of we are all related. It goes back to that energy, the web of life, that energy of life, right? And so when I say goddess, I'm not saying, women are better than men. I'm in this particular song, I'm helping women to understand their sacred power. And one thing that we do have separate than our counterparts is that we have the ability to give life, right? We all are our male counterparts and our feminines, and those who don't identify as either or. We all have energy portals in our body, but the woman who gives birth has a special, right, energy portal in her body that opens up in a moment to let that spirit through, and then closes up once that spirit is in, and then the heartbeat starts, right? That's something very, very sacred, whether we recognize it or not. And so I'm trying to help our sisters to recognize that, to remember that they are sacred, that they are very, very, divine, and in that way, a part of creation. And that's that connection to when we use the word God or goddess, right? And always, I'm going to say it right now, because yes, this is a song for our women. Always do I put up our men and say that there cannot be one without the other. You know, they are definitely a part of our world. We need them. We need them healthy and well and treating us well. And we need our women to be healthy and well and treating our men well. So that's why I did the song, because us women, we are caretakers for the children. So we need to be healthy for self, right? First, so that we can have healthy children growing up who turn into healthy men, healthy women, and even those who don't identify, right? But so that we can have healthy people in our communities. And so I do believe it starts with our women, those who are the first caretaker and should be the first caretaker for our children. I will say, yes, I do have some relatives that I love very dearly that should be good mothers, but they're on another path right now and someone else is taking care of their children. And I do acknowledge that we do have single fathers taking care of their children as well. And you all deserve love and you all deserve to be up.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, very good explanation. We are sacred. Every being is sacred. And thank you for writing this song. And so I know you didn't do a visual video, but
Yes.
I really wanted to share it because this was done during you put it up during this last year that everyone was having a hard time, and it's definitely an empowerment song. It's a healing song. It's coming to the self song, and I really like it. And I want to share just a little bit so we could segue into our question and answer segment. So here is, and I'm going to share it right. Here, I'm going to do the share screen. I'm going to do the share screen, and we're going to share Goddess Gang by Jessa Calderon. Oh, my God, I did it again. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, replay. Okay, did I do it right? What am I doing? Okay, we're gonna. Okay, we're gonna stop it. My bad. We're gonna unscreen this. I don't know how to do this. I am barely learning, so I apologize sincerely. So, but I like Goddess Gang, so I want you all to like hear this song, and I want to make sure that I'm doing correctly because I don't know how to do this. Um, how did I do it last time? Let's see. We did this like this. Share the screen. Okay.
I could do it a cappella too if people want to hear it that way.
Oh, right. Oh, even better. Even better. Okay, let's hear you. Let's hear you do it. Please do. We're gonna have you.
Let me see if I have it.
Yes. Goddess Gang by Jessa Calderon. Doing it live for us here.
Channel my inner goddess, stood in my power, reminding me I got this. Smile on, head high, flying on these loving vibes. Frequencies of positivity fulfill me. Kisses on my face from a cool breeze. Whispers in my ear, I can achieve anything. Born from the stars, galaxy explore. Flowing beyond Mars, when Goddess speaks, you don't ignore her. She bless you with them fire bars, filling you with bliss. She reminds you it's within that you'll find your happiness. Listen up when she says, baby, don't stress. Follow your own compass. Getting through tough times leads you to your strength. Say, Goddess Gang, Goddess Gang, Goddess Gang. Goddess Gang, 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 Goddess Gang. I'll tell you I'm jealous. It's followed with love and pride. knowing we all shine our light in our own way at our own time. You each motivate me as I motivate you. There's nothing us goddesses can't ever do. Warrior women, yes, we fight for what we love. You are my equal, not below or above. Much like the sacred fire, we put them in awe when we dance. Admire our beauty, we bring them to a trance. Calling my goddesses, stand in your power. This is your day, your year, your hour. Life is a blessing. Love, you bless us. I honor you. Life keeper, life giver, life protector. No man alive shall ever disrespect her. Goddess gang, goddess gang, goddess gang. Goddess gang, 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 goddess gang. I honor the depths of the earth from which these goddesses came. They play with women's rights, but human rights are not a game. Our lives are sacred. Our goddesses scream, goddess gang, goddess gang, goddess gang. To honor the earth is to honor yourself. I'm reaching down to the depths of your internal hell, reminding you why we love ourselves. Goddesses we are. No one can take that away. Close your eyes. Remember why your life became. Raise your fist high and scream, goddess gang, goddess gang, goddess gang. You wear pumps, I wear chucks, yet we're one and the same, cause we rep that goddess gang, goddess gang, goddess gang. In the comforts of our love, sacred sisterhood was made. Together we stand stronger, holding hands, we'll never fall, carrying each other through it all. Say goddess gang, goddess gang, goddess gang. Goddess gang, 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 goddess gang.
Yeah, goddess gang, goddess gang, goddess gang. Yeah. Give
And
it
then
up,
of course,
Jessa.
if you listen all the way through, it ends off with stand in your power.
That's right. Stand in your power. The goddesses, we stand in our power here today with you. And thank you so much for that. We're going to get to the part where we start wrapping it up, but we want to make sure that people that are out there, if you all have any questions, please do ask Jessa right now. If there's, or we could read some comments and kind of go through them. I think, Jessa, you could even see some of the comments right there on our comment section.
I actually did see a question that was asked earlier that somebody's daughter is out there watching and wanted me to sing a song in the Chumash language. And so I do have a song called Strong Woman Rising that I think would fit this occasion very well, if you're okay with that.
Yes, definitely okay with that. So we'll definitely do that song for everyone that's out there right now.
Okay, and so I'll just sing one verse of it.
Okay.
Hey, hey, away, ha. Hey, hey, away. Hey, hey, away, ha. Hey, hey, away. Oh, hey, away. Hey, hey, away. Oh, hey, away. Hey, hey, away. Enek hinoha, no kushkan. Enek hinoha, no kushkan. Enek hino, no kushkan. Oe, oe, ha. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey, ha. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Thank you.
Thank you. That was lovely. That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I see out there that we have some men watching us. There we got some men.
Yes.
They're in there. They're in there. They're scrolling around. They're saying, what's up? And I know y'all are here. Give it up to the men who are here on this platform.
Junior,
Junior. Surrender to the goddess.
Hey, much love to our men. Like I said, we wouldn't be anything without you. So we need you out here alive, well, healthy, sober.
Yes. And thank you for that sacred song. Is there any other questions out there? Do you all have a question? And if you don't, right now we'll go through them right now, comments and questions. But before we go into the next segment and comment and question, what I do want to say is please link on to our GoFundMe page. Again, this is a series that we are providing for free, and of course donations are gratefully taken. The ofrendas are open to click on to our donate button. Go to our website, follow us, get notifications for all future programmings. We're going to continue with Music Mondays, Sanación Sundays, Film Fridays, Wednesday writing. So we're providing a whole month of free programming, and also future programming will also help uh, um, to fund as well our actual documentary of 24 years of her story. Is very important for the goddesses, the chingonas, the diosas to document their own her story. And if you believe in what we're doing, if you believe in our energia, that we're putting down new seeds and we're continuing to water our flowers, please log in and donate something today. And you are a part of this by being here, by donating, by sharing. We're all creating sacred space, even if it's virtually, even if it's just listening to us live. That's an energy that's out there. Jessa's using her vehicle, her body, her voice to channel that energy of healing. And that's what we're about, right? And being honest with where we're at as humans, and moving that forward, and
Yeah.
creating this beautiful space. And so I want to thank you, Jessa, for being here today. I want to make sure that we have another man that just showed up. He was like, "Hey man, you got me singing God is Gang. We got the men singing God is Gang."
That's
So
right.
yeah, we have some crew up here. Okay. Mucho lot. I see you. I see you out here. So if we have the men singing, it's all good too. We have the women singing along.
Right.
Definitely. He says, thank you for sharing your voice here. We have a lot of thank yous, people saying, acknowledging the sacredness of women and repeating what you're saying as well. And that's very important. So know that your music and your words, Jessa, resonate beyond time and space,
Mm.
because we're all that, right? We keep moving, and movimiento keeps moving beyond time
Right.
and space. Is there any last words that you would like to tell our audience and people who will listen to it, not only now but in the future, and replay this video?
Well, I just want to remind you that I wouldn't be here right now performing for you all if it wasn't for Mujeres de Maiz. So make sure you click that GoFundMe and donate what you can, even if it's $1, but also just to remember that you are beautiful. And I know it's really hard when somebody sits there and tells us that we're good, that we're solid, that we're beautiful, that we deserve everything good in life. We want to shut that all down and tell ourselves all these ugly things. But remember that what you repeat to yourself every day is what becomes your reality. So you're only as great as the way that you treat yourself, the way that you speak to yourself. So be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, honor yourself, love yourself, respect yourself. And in doing so, you'll share that energy out to the world, and that's how you'll be treating other people, and that's how you'll be drawing energy back to yourself as well. So just remember that you are sacred and you are beautiful and you are so loved and appreciated and needed here.
Thank you for those goddess gems that you just dropped, and thank you for being here, Jessa, and giving your time and donating your time. And know that all the times before until now, you're also part of the sacred circle,
Mm.
and we appreciate you, we honor you, and we give thanks for who you are. And with that, I want to say thank you to our our actually facilitators, our actually coordinators, chat coordinators, Megan and Maritza Alvarez, our technical coordinator, and those that are helping in the background, right, with social media and all that good stuff while we're here talking. And again, thank you for tuning in, supporting, and sharing. Join us next week for Music Mondays and all week programming. It's going to be amazing. We'll have amazing women that are coming in and sharing her stories, their stories. So let the music, love, and creativity move your heart. Tlaxocamatli, Ometeo, Aho. Ashe.
Awesh coneja.
Okay, how do you say that?
Awesh
Awish
ko
ko
ne
ne
ha.
ha. Can you say it again? Together?
Awesh
Awish
coneja.
waneha.
Coneja. Awesh coneja.
Awe konesha.
Close. Close. I'll give you that.
And the language is Tongva?
That's Tongva. And so that is equivalent to like thank you or like kind of like saying my heart is happy in a way.
My heart is happy. Thank you. So, okay, I'm going to learn that. I'm going to learn that. That's my homework, you guys. That's our homework, especially if you're from Cali. Okay? Peace. Thank you, Jessa. And thank you, everybody. And good night.
Good night, everyone.
Okay.